Hi, I'm Erik, and this is Adventures in Golf. This episode begins at ground zero of what's become the largest civil rights movement in our lifetimes. And perhaps not surprisingly, golf does have a part to play in this story.
For this next episode, we're traveling to Washington, D.C. to check out a golf course that's firmly planted in our country's history. It's been over 60 years now since the civil rights movement first began, but recent injustices have once again sparked protests and shined a light on racial inequality. For this reason, we are headed to the Langston golf course, just outside the city. When Langston opened in 1939, it was one of only 20 public golf courses out of 700 in the country that was open to African Americans. Named after John Mercer Langston, the first black man to represent Virginia in the United States House of Representatives and the founder of the Howard University School of Law, the course serves as a reminder of what challenges still remain.
I started following the game back in '97. When a young man won a Masters, and I look fast forward 22 years when he won it just last year, and there's still only 4 African Americans on the PGA Tour. So in 22 years, where's the growth?
Before we hit the course, I'm meeting with Lewis Myers, founder and commissioner of the Congressional Golf Association.
One of the principal missions here at Congressional Golf is to seek out persons of color and expose them to the game of golf. For a long time, even today, it's tough for persons of color to become members of country clubs. There's more barriers to entry. There's less access. And so I take it upon myself, part of my mission and charge as a golfer, and I guess it's more of a responsibility, is to do everything I can to encourage others to get out there and play. And if doing so, you inspire somebody to play the game, then we did our job.
That's great to hear. I mean, that is one of the biggest problems to solve, is it shouldn't be upon every child to invent their own reality. They should be able to see a leader and a mentor that looks like them doing what they want to do.
Exactly.
And Tiger Woods did that for a lot of people, but not enough.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
You obviously have a job that you've devoted to trying to amend policies to make the world a better place for everybody.
Right.
How does the Congressional Golfers Association work within that? Is there some behind the scenes going on there?
There's no party affiliation with the golf ball. You know, whether you hit the son of a bitch out of the bounds or whether you keep it in the fairway, you know, you got to play your ball as it lies. And so whether you're Republican, Democrat, or whatever, it does not matter. And so one cool thing about CGA is we just get out there and have fun. You know, crack a few beers, smoke a few cigars, and out of that friendship, that networking, opportunities can develop. It's just about putting people in the room. And if you put people in the room, whether they're black, white, what the hell ever, you'll find that there's more commonality because we all bleed the same blood and we all have to eat to survive, so.
Once you make that connection, no matter what race or what gender, you can bond over golf unlike anything else. This sport brings people together.
This is Tari Cash, and 2 years ago, she opened an indoor golf facility in the heart of D.C. called City Swing.
I was in a job where I recognized how the men would talk to me differently when they knew that I loved and played the sport.
Wait, they talk to you differently when they knew you played golf?
Absolutely. It breaks the barriers. Like, it is a different conversation. I can be invisible if I'm just another black girl in the conversation, or I can be seen and I can talk the game of golf with them when they understand, especially if I outdrive them. That's really good. But even just when I talk the game, it's a whole different ballgame for me.
It was Tari's love of the game that inspired her to embark on her own adventure.
I have always wanted to have my own business. I'm an entrepreneur at heart. And so when I saw an opportunity to be the first to market as an indoor golf facility in DC, I just put my head down and we started running for it.
I'm done. That is not my typical. I'll see you guys in 14 hours. I'm going to be here all night. When do you close? Man, that is a swing.
DeMarcus is our ringer. He played golf in college, and he can smoke the ball. He gives us credibility.
When I got my PGA degree, at that point, I realized how few there were of me and people who looked like me in the game. And at that point, I realized that, I could one day make a difference, or at least, be a difference. Because there's over 29,000 PGA pros, and there are less than 200 African-American PGA pros. We make up less than 1% of the population of professional golfers. And I just wanted the next kid that looked like me to just feel a little bit more welcome when they come, and hopefully I can help that going on.
If you don't have anybody in your world, or nobody has said, come on, let's go to a golf course together today, and I'll show you everything that you need, you're not gonna go.
There's no incentive to bring a newcomer to the golf course.
Especially not if you don't see golf as a sport that will welcome you into that world. You've got to reflect what you want to be in the marketplace.
People say that racism doesn't exist anymore, but right now we're seeing it face to face every day.
I finally made it over to Langston Golf Course, where I get the chance to talk with some students from the local First Tee chapter about what they've experienced firsthand on the golf course.
I'm not sure about other golf courses, but there's a stigma of how exclusive they are.
Some golf courses, they won't tell you directly that they don't want you coming in, but you can get that vibe that, okay, well, you can go play, but we don't really respect you.
We really need to step up our game if we're gonna make change.
Have you personally experienced racism on the golf course?
Not yet. Let's go with that.
Helping to facilitate that change, the First Tee organization focuses on making golf accessible to young people, but more importantly, teaches them core values. Values they'll need now more than ever.
One of the lessons that we teach the kids as they get older is appreciating diversity. So we talk to them about what makes everybody different, not just what you look like, but what do you have in common. And you just would never know unless you take the time to get to know them.
You're at a place between subway stops. And the difference in the family income from this station and the station on the other side of the golf course is almost $75,000 per family. It's the biggest difference in the country from one subway stop. So what we try to do is we just sort of blend everybody together, and when things happen, everybody gets a fair chance. It's not always just golf. It's the other experiences you have in life that make you a full person. We can't count that. That's not, we can't count that.
Sam Perrier is the director of golf for Howard University's men's and women's golf teams.
This is the first time they've ever played with you, Sam. This is a big day. You're their future coach. Is there a strategy here?
They're putting pressure on me. I'm trying to figure out at what age do I need to be to get a breakfast ball.
The upcoming year marks the return of golf to Howard for the first time in decades.
Okay, that is perfect.
The golf program was abandoned in the 70s, but will begin anew thanks to the generosity of NBA star Steph Curry, who has agreed to financially support the teams for the next 6 years.
EJ, what do you think? That's a big deal.
I think it's a great thing for me. I can be the first person on the team for Howard. It's going to be in the history books that I'm going to be the first one on that team. I'm just hoping to win a lot of tournaments and have a good time.
What do you think, Kendall?
It's breathtaking, honestly, and just the freedom and privilege that we get to have being at Howard. Like, this really is the American dream because you don't see a lot of us out on the golf course, so to have this opportunity to play collegiately, that's incredible.
When do you get to meet Steph Curry?
I don't know. When I get to meet
Set it up, coach. Set it up, coach.
Bye. Ooh.
My favorite line to all my players is, I am the best putter in the world.
So I believe that is very huge in success. Can you tell me what your belief is?
Yeah, I think most of golf, if not all of golf, is just the mindset. I mean, the man who wins is the man who thinks he can. So if you believe it, I believe it becomes a reality. That is the truth.
I mean, just take that home. All right, I'm gonna try I got a little par putt here. Let's see if I can. There you go, he was right. Cannot be beat.
He might have changed my life.
Thanks, Sam. one of the cooler golf courses I've ever seen, much less played. Each hole completely reveals itself to you. You've never seen it before. So far, each hole has been on a single line. There's no holes that border it. And it's like a children's book. I mean, the bunkers are not especially deep or anything crazy like that, but it's very selective with kind of how you play it.
Yeah.
What a cool golf course. It's so cool that it's here and it has such a historical significance for so many people. It makes it so much more than a golf course.
For me, golf is probably the best barometer, has been the best teacher for me, because the way you treat your playing partner on the course is the way you should treat the person walking down the street. I don't have to know you to love you, because love is free. We were given love, so the least we can do is exude it.